Could your hard-earned wealth end up in the hands of your kids' in-laws? Or even their in-laws' new families? Well, if that idea makes you uneasy, stick around. I'm sharing key strategies to protect your family's legacy for generations to come. And these are the tips every family needs to know, but most people don't think about until it's too late. What's up? I'm Corlandos, Scott, your friendly estate planning attorney, focused on helping families like yours safeguard their wealth and protect what truly matters. And today I'm tackling one of the most overlooked estate planning challenges, keeping your wealth in the family. You know, ensuring it benefits your children and grandchildren, emphasis on the your, and not your sons or daughters-in-law. Now, the strategies I'm about to share aren't just legal tips. They're tools to give you peace of mind, protect your life's work, and preserve your legacy. So let's dive in. Let's start with the problem. Now, without proper planning, your children's inheritance could unintentionally become joint property with their spouse. Now, I know what you're thinking. My kids are married to wonderful people, so what's the issue? Well, here's the truth. Life is unpredictable. Marriages end, remarriages happen. If assets are deposited into joint accounts or used in ways that blend them with marital property, they could be considered shared during a divorce or even inherited by a new family after remarriage. Here's a real-life scenario to paint the picture. All right, imagine your child inherits $500,000 from you, and instead of keeping it in a separate account, they just deposit it into a joint account with their spouse. Now, a few years later, the marriage ends in divorce. What happens next? Well, suddenly, half of that inheritance, $250,000, is potentially gone. Or worse, imagine your child passes away and their spouse remarries. Now your family's wealth and the $500,000 that you contributed to it could go to a step family or even out of your bloodline altogether. Now, this isn't what you worked so hard to build, right? But it happens every single day when families fail to plan for these situations. Let me share a real-world story from my experience. There's a client, we'll call her Lisa, who inherited her parents' vacation home. Now, Lisa and her husband decided to put the home in both their names. They thought it made sense at the time. But when their marriage ended in divorce, the house had to be sold and the proceeds were split. What Lisa was left with was just a fraction of what her parents had intended her to have. And even worse, her kids lost the chance to inherit that property. Now, let's rewind. If Lisa's parents had set up a properly structured trust, the vacation home would have remained Lisa's separate property. It could have stayed in the family, protected from divorce proceedings, and passed down to her kids, just like Lisa's parents wanted. So let's talk solutions. How can you make sure what happened to Lisa doesn't happen to your family? Well, here are 5 strategies to keep your wealth safe and in the family. Number 1, use a living trust with specific terms. A living trust allows you to outline exactly how your child's inheritance should be managed. You can include clear instructions that keep the assets as their separate property, and even add spendthrift provisions to protect the inheritance from divorce or creditors. Now, this is one of the most effective tools for shielding your wealth. Number 2, designate successor beneficiaries. Now, another smart move is to ensure that your child's share of your estate passes to your grandchildren or other beneficiaries of your choice if your child passes away. This is called a bloodline trust, and it ensures that your assets stay within your family tree no matter what life throws at them. Number 3, gifting during your lifetime. Now, if you want to minimize the risk of your wealth ending up with an in-law, consider gifting assets during your lifetime. Now, you can do this through irrevocable trusts or by directly funding specific needs like education or housing. Not only does this protect the assets from potential future marital property disputes, but it also allows you to see the impact of your generosity while you're alive. Number 4, encourage prenuptial or even postnuptial agreements. I get it, I understand bringing up a prenup or a postnup can feel completely awkward, but these agreements are incredibly powerful tools for protecting family wealth. So having an open and honest conversation with your kids about why you're encouraging them to consider this isn't about distrust. It's about ensuring that family wealth is safeguarded for generations. It's you doing your duty. Number 5, using clear trust language. Finally, don't underestimate the importance of precise trust language. Ambiguity leads to confusion, confusion leads to legal battles, and that leads to unintended consequences. So work with an estate planning attorney to ensure that your trust is ironclad and legally enforceable, because a vague trust can cause just as much damage as having no trust at all. Now, beyond these legal strategies, let's talk about the role of communication. It's not enough to create a plan. You need to share your intentions with your family. Talk to your children about the importance of protecting family wealth and let them know why you've made certain decisions. Transparency, it prevents surprises and it reduces the risk of conflicts after you're gone. And one of the last pieces of advice, don't DIY your estate plan. I can't stress this enough. I know there are tons of online forums, and online forums and cookie cutter solutions are good in their place, but they won't cut it when you're dealing with complex family dynamics, blended families, or even any moderately significant amount of assets and wealth. You need a professional who knows how to craft a plan that will work exactly the way you intend when it's needed. So let's make this a two-way conversation. All right, what's your biggest concern when it comes to protecting your family's wealth? Is it divorce? Is it remarriage? Or maybe it's something else? Just drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and answer the questions you have. Listen, protecting your family's wealth requires more than just good intentions. It takes thoughtful, proactive planning. Now, the strategies that we talked about today can safeguard your legacy, protect your loved ones, and give you the peace of mind you deserve. But the key is to act now. Don't wait until it's too late. The longer you wait, the greater the risk of your family's wealth slipping away. So go ahead and click the link in the description and grab a time on my calendar. Let's work together to create a plan that keeps your loved ones out of court, out of conflict, and fully protected. And hey, if you want to keep learning, YouTube thinks that this is the perfect video for you to watch next. So go check it out and keep building your estate planning knowledge.